Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom to the Torah, YAHAWAH. I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Alright, that's all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahawah, in the name of the God, Son, YAHAWASHI. It's your brother, YAHAWAH, coming back with y'all with another video. Alright, and in this video, be going into, you can't search out the thoughts and the mind of the Most High. Right? Because we're talking about the Most High. Right? Think about that. Think about that phrase, the Most High. Right? The most highest creature. I'm not talking about being high damn weed, right? With drugs. I'm talking about the most highest when I say high, I mean like in stature, in place, right? Because there's a structure set up by the Most High. Right? Let's go to first, let's just go to 1 Corinthians real quick. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ. So the head of every man is Mahashiach Yahushua, right? And the head of the woman is the man, right? Because the head, the head of the woman is the man, right? That's the structure. That's the hierarchy, right? And the head of Mahashiach is who? Is God. Now we know that God is talking about the Most High, the Father, right? Yahawah. So he is Yahawah. Hey, there's no one above Yahawah, right? There's no one you can equal to Yahawah either, right? Because Yahawah, in that structure, he's the Most High, right? So that's why we say the Most High, right? So you can't figure out and try to sit down and think and try to think like the Most High, right? You can't fathom the thoughts and comprehend his mind, all right? You just can't do it. That's like if you only know kindergarten math, right? If you're on a kindergarten a level of math, you can't go to damn AP Physics, which they teach to seniors, right? And try to understand it. If you don't even know the basic, if you don't even know 1 + 1, right? If you only know 5 × 5, you're not going to be able to understand AP Physics, right? Or higher than that, college level or whatever. You're not going to be able to understand that, right? So, like the Most High, and he's above all that, Hey, damn, physics is easy to the Most High, right? Because his thoughts, his ways, his comprehension skills is out of this world, right? So you can't begin to think and like the Most High. You try to fathom the thoughts and of the Most High. We're talking about this creature that was before time, right? And not creature, right? Being, right? Because a creature is something that's created, Salaki. So a being, rather, right? That made you, that made everything, right? That made Yahawashi, all right? So let's go to some precepts real quick. It's the book of Amos, chapter 4, all right? And the prophets, they understood this. The wise men of the scriptures, they understood this, right? That you can't comprehend the thoughts of the Most High. This is Amos chapter 4 and verse 13. It says, "For lo, he that formeth the mountains." Who formed the mountains? Right? Let's keep going. "And createth the wind, and declareth unto man what is his thought, that maketh the morning darkness, and treadeth upon the high places of the earth. The Lord, the God of hosts, is his name, Yahawah." Right? So the Most High is on such a level that he declares unto us what our thoughts are. Right? We're sitting out trying to think, people trying to think, comprehend the thoughts of the Most High. Well, he put those thoughts in you, right? So how deep is that? All right. So we're talking about the creature. I mean, the Slaki. I keep saying creature. We're talking about the being that puts those thoughts in your mind, right? So he's on a totally different level, right? He's not on our level, all right? It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 8. Like people in the world say, stay in your lane, right? Stay in your lane, right? You trying to figure out the thoughts of the Most High, you trying to do it by math. You trying to write it down and, go through the precepts. There's only so much you can, understand, right? There's only so much you can know, all right? This is Isaiah 55 and 8. "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord." So the Lord straight up told us, hey, my thoughts are not your thoughts, right? Man they think upon vain things, right? We in this truth, we think about the law, commandments, and sometimes, vain things because, the mind is very unstable, you know? So, and, man, they think upon vain things. Even the Lord said in the book of 1 Corinthians, again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are foolish, right? That they are foolish and vain, right? Paraphrase. So that's what man is thinking about, right? Vain things. And here you go trying to think about the thoughts of the Most High, right? It says, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord, right? For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. See that? So the damn sky, how tall the damn earth from the sky is, that's basically the thoughts of the Most High and our thoughts, right? So it's obsolete, right? It's obsolete, all right? It's vain. Don't try to figure out the thoughts of the Most High, because you're not going to get it, all right? You're just not going to get it. You're not on his level, all right? Let's get some other precepts. This book of Romans, all right? Romans chapter 11 and verse, I'm going to start at 33. Oh, the depth of riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of God. How unsearchable are his judgments, and his ways past finding out. Exactly. So the Most High's ways are past finding out. Don't try to sit down and try to write down all the ways of the Most High, because you're going to bug out. All right? You're going to go crazy. Right? And even if you do go crazy, try to get some, try to jot down 100 of them. Hey, the Lord already done damn a million things already. Right? So the way his ways, or the Most High's ways, are past searching out, right? And even his wisdom, because where does wisdom come from? Sirach 1:1, all wisdom coming from the Lord, and is with him forever, right? And in the book of Sirach also tells wisdom also told you that I came from the Most High. So you're trying to figure out the thoughts of the man, of the being, right? Of the God that that created wisdom. All right. Verse 34. For who have known the mind of the Lord? Who have known the mind of the Lord? That's a rhetorical question. Meaning that question is not really meant to be answered. Right? Because that answer is nobody. It's straightforward. Nobody. Right? Who have known the mind of the Lord, or who have been his counselor? Have you been the Most High's counselor? Right? You sit down, the Most High sits down on the other side of the, of the desk. You're trying to counsel the Most High. You're hearing him out. You're jotting down some notes, and then you telling the Most High what he could do and what he could. No, nobody has done that, right? Because the Most High is perfect, man. All right, and his thoughts, like the topic of this video, his thoughts are past searching out. All right, it's very deep. All right, like the Lord said. I believe, yeah, there was a precept in Job, I believe. It said that his thoughts are very deep. All right, because we're talking about the being, man, that was before time, right? That created math, right? Math can get deep, but he created that, right? Psychology can get deep, but he created that too, right? All these other things that, Jake say, oh, that's deep. And the Lord created that, right? So his thoughts are very, very deep, all right? So let's go to Isaiah 40, right? Back in Isaiah, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, and verse 13. It says, who have directed the Spirit of the Lord? Again, another rhetorical question. Or being his counselor, have taught him. So what does that mean? Who has directed the Spirit of the Lord? Has been his counselor, has taught him. No one has taught the Most High anything, man. Right? So you can't search out his thoughts, all right? Because his thoughts are very, very deep, man. You can't sit there and be his counselor, right? Try to figure out his thoughts, because a counselor, they would hear you out, right? They would hear you out. They'll hear your problem, and they'll, jot down some notes and analyze your thoughts. Well, you can't do that with the Most High. You can't do that with the Most High. All right? Because let's get this precept. This is Sirach chapter 3 and verse 21. It says, seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. So the Lord just said, seek not out the things that are too hard for thee. Right? That's a thing that's too hard for you, man. That's too hard for you. Don't be sitting down there trying to figure out the thoughts of the Most High. Right? Trying to comprehend his ways, all his ways and his thoughts. Right? That's too high for you. Right? That's too hard for you. Neither search the things that are above thy strength. All right? That's too hard for you. If you can't even understand, try to break down the deep things of the scriptures. Right? How are you going to understand the thoughts of the Most High? Right? So, you know, like I keep saying, right? It's obsolete. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 131 and verse 1. Lord, my heart is not haughty, nor my ears lofty. Meaning, you know, basically David's saying, I'm not proud. Neither do I exercise myself in great matters, or in things too high for me. See that? Or in things too high for me. So what does that mean? David is understanding that, he's not going to try to sit down and figure out all the thoughts and ways of the Most High. Right? Because he knows that that's too high for him. Right? That's above his pay grade. Right? And David had a lot of knowledge and wisdom and understanding. You best believe that. But he even knew himself. I'm not going to try to sit down and try to figure out all the ways of the Most High. Right? Because that's too high for me. That's too hard. Right? And that's okay to say that that's too hard because, we're talking about the Most High's thoughts. You know? The supreme being. How he thinks. Right? So that's okay to say it's too hard. You know? And so the Most High, he only reveals to us what he wants to reveal. Right? Because this is the book of, let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra. All right? If he wanted to reveal his thoughts, he wanted man to understand his thoughts, then he would have done that. All right? But he only reveals to man what he wants them to understand. All right? It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 1. And it came to pass upon the third day, I sat under an oak, and behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me, and said, Ezra, Ezra. And I said, Here am I, Lord. And I stood upon my feet. Then said he unto me, In the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses, and talk with him when my people served in Egypt. So basically, this is the angel talking to Ezra, and saying, or basically, the Most High is talking to Ezra through an angel, right? He's talking about, how the Most High met Moses in the bush by the angel, right? In I believe Exodus, the 3rd chapter. All right, it might have been. Let me check real quick. All right, it's the book of Exodus, 4th chapter, the 3rd chapter. All right. So look at Exodus, the 3rd chapter. All right, 3rd chapter. It says, so back in 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 4, and I sent him and led my people out of Egypt, and brought him up to the mountain of Sinai, when I held him by me a long season. And I told him many wondrous things, and showed him the secrets of the times, and the end, and commanded him, saying, These words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide. So these words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide. Meaning that what? Basically, you're going to have parables and dark sayings, and you're going to have simple sentences, right? You're going to have these words are going to be hidden, right? They have to be unlocked, like Genesis, the 1st chapter, 2nd chapter, 3rd chapter. These writings, it's not clear to everybody, right? Not everybody's going to get it, But the plain things like Genesis chapter 50 or Genesis 30, Genesis 30, or those chapters about Joseph going into captivity and his people and stuff like that. Those are the plain things. So like I said, the Most High only reveals unto man what he wants man to understand. All right, and we being in this truth, even because we're in this fleshly body. All right, this is prohibiting us from getting the full understanding, because we don't have the 100% truth right now. All right, we do not have the 100% truth right now. All right, but we're going to get it in the kingdom when we have our spiritual bodies, Lord willing. All right. So, don't try to figure out all the ways and thoughts of the Most High. All right, that's just too hard for us. All right. So with that, I'd like to give all honor and glory and praise, of course, unto the Most High, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Lord willing, this was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.